All right, exciting time today. We are going to be editing a form. So currently we are using Gravity Forms for this. Your site may use a different plugin to do forms like Formidable Forms or WS Form or Fluent Forms or any of the other things. Today in this video, we're going to cover Gravity Forms. We'll make a separate video for WS Forms and Fluent Forms as well. Depending on the use case, we might swap it around for our client. So in this one here, we're covering Gravity Forms. So from the admin area, just go on down to Forms. You'll see it on the sidebar, and then you can actually visit our existing forms. I went ahead and took care of creating an existing form, and we can view that on the site. Underneath the Contact Us page, I just created a simple contact form. As you can see here, it has the title, has the name, asks for the email, comments. You can see the required fields and a submit button. Not styled or anything fancy, but it does work. In here, in the admin area, we'll jump back over there, go to forms. So what we want to do is we want to edit the Contact Us form. We're going to go ahead into the forms, and then edit. Pretty straightforward. So right now we get the first and last name, email with a confirmation and comments. But let's say we really wanted to add in a telephone number or something like that. What we can do, we have these standard fields over here, extra fields, post fields. If you wanted someone to be able to create content from your site, you could do that, as well as pricing. So if you're selling something kind of small, you have the option to do that here. On this, what we're going to do is we're going to use an advanced field, phone number. We're just going to drag and drop. Now we have a phone number field. We can go in and modify the label of that. We can even add a description if we wanted to. You can see it automatically adds in here. It's an international format, so if you only deal with US companies or Canadian companies, you can use this format here. We can mark it as required. We can mark it as no duplicate, so only one phone number can be entered in ever. I rarely use this, but if you're running a form and you need it to be unique entries, like you can lock out the email address saying, hey, only one per email or something like that, you can do it that way. You also have the ability to add in a placeholder, so you can actually type in a phone number if you wanted to. We're going to do 555-1234, and that will be the placeholder that gets entered into the box there. You can choose where the visibility is, what kind of sizing you're looking for. So if you don't want it to go all the way across, you can use the different sizes in here so they actually line up into a different column of sorts. Underneath the advanced area, you can actually enable autocomplete. So that fun little setting that automatically fills in the forms for you, you actually have the ability to set that up on your website automatically. If you wanted to do something like a hidden field, obviously for a phone number, that doesn't make any sense because you need someone to be able to type it in. But for a hidden field, like if you're doing something with calculations or some advanced programming with JavaScript where someone can actually fill in a hidden field, either via JavaScript or using a URL get parameter. And if you're not sure what that is, I'm sure I'll make another video and kind of run through what that is as well. But on this side, what we'll do is we're going to make this visible. We're going to come back up here to appearance. We're going to make it the full width all the way across, so our thing goes all the way through here, so it looks like it's all kind of put together. And we're not going to mess with conditional logic. We don't need to mess with any of that stuff there. And now we have first and last name. We're asking for the phone number. We have the email address and for them to confirm it so that they don't accidentally typo it in, and the comments. Why are they reaching out? Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and save the form. Now, if we come back to our website and our Contact Us page, we now have the phone number along with the placeholder. So it'll automatically fill in based on what it is, but we have the placeholder there, so it'll give people the ability to know kind of what we're looking for to have them type in. And then when they start typing it in, you see here, it automatically populates and formats it for them, so they don't have to deal with anything like that. So same thing with the email address, comments, click submit. that's how you basically add a field to a form. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to run through this real fast, is how to be able to modify the form's notifications. Notifications are really important because that's how you get notified using this admin notification that you actually received an email. So we'll go into the forms here. Underneath of contact us, we have settings. You can go to form settings, confirmations, or notifications. Notifications is what we want on this one. And then we have an admin notification and a user notification. This one here, the user is the one that gets sent out to the person who filled out the form. The admin is the one, like you guys, who will be receiving a copy of the form fields after they're done. So we click edit on the admin notification. So you can actually say, admin notify Paul, and then this one will be sent to me. And it might be different than the one that you send over to JP or Dennis or anyone else on your team. And the nice thing is you can actually configure routing based on things that are inside of the form. So let's say you added, or I'll just do this real quick. We'll just leave this real fast, and we're going to do a drop down. Drop down, and then we're going to do choices 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Not going to name it anything. But in the settings over here, you can say configure routing. So send to this email if untitled is first choice. So send it to Paul at stout.co, send it to JP at stout.co, whatever it is, if it's the second choice or third choice, or if it's this one, send it to support, right? So our whole team gets it. And then inside of that is based on your routing features for whatever the user selected this to be, and you can actually send that to various people on that end. Choose your from name, so whatever it pops up in your email, like who this email is from. The admin email is what the default email address is on your WordPress install. I'm going to have another video here in a little bit talking about setting up an SMTP relay so that basically you don't have to rely on your server to send any emails, which very frequently get blacklisted and then emails don't arrive or they get marked in spam. We'll run through that process and getting that set up. Also, a reply to email. So in this, what we can do is we'll use the client's email address in order to be able to reply to. So when we receive their email and we click reply, it'll go to that user rather than back to the website, which ends up not going anywhere if it goes back to the website. So you can also add in a BCC email address. So if you use a CRM or something like that, like HubSpot, they actually give you a BCC email address that you can use that you can actually put in here, and then it will actually track all of these email submissions back into your CRM automatically. The subject line is pretty straightforward. Hey, we have a new submission from whatever the name of your form title is. And then in this here, all fields, which is basically just the default. And it'll output a table of this is the field name, this is what they entered in. And that's basically it. If you want to make the email formatted pretty, you actually have access to be able to add in individual variables. So you could then go in and create an email address. So you could be like, hi, first name, thanks for filling out our form or whatever it is. So you can actually go in and add that rather than just dumping everything into it. And that's great for user notifications. My team and I just prefer all fields when we receive it as an admin email, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Conditional logic, again, you can send this notification if let's say untitled is first choice, but then it won't send if nothing else is added. Or you can send it if it is untitled is first and second, but because the user can only select one, this will send if it's this or it is this. Or you can do this and there's no variation. So it'll be sent no matter what is entered in. We'll update this notification and you can see here, and it even gives you a little warning about not using that information. So on this side, we'll jump back over to notifications, and we'll just show you the default user notification on this one here. Again, send to field. Obviously, that's going to be the person who filled out the form's email address, and then their name, and then we've received your inquiry, and then we basically just give a brief explanation of, hey, we received it. We'll go ahead and follow up with you, or whatever your process is. Tell them, explain what it is, maybe add a link back to your site, explain why they received this, maybe a link back to your contact us page or something like that can be added in here so that they get a little subtle reminder of, oh, yeah, that's right, I filled it out on Paul's website. And then you can just go down and click the blue button to update notifications. That is a really fast run through of Gravity Forms on how to update existing forms and modify them, setting up the notifications. I didn't cover confirmations, and confirmations really simple. All it is once the user is finished, what should it say? Should it say a message? Should it direct them to one of your other pages? Or should you direct to a third-party URL? Like if they are buying something from you, you can direct to the shopping cart page or to wherever you want them to go that's not on your website. You also can add in these options, which is a query string, which basically allows you to send them to this URL, but then pre-fill out some form fields in the next place you're sending them to, so that they don't have to fill it out multiple times. Now, this doesn't work for all forms, but if you have a form that does it, you'll know because you will be the one setting it up. And if you have questions on this, feel free to drop a message down below and we'll go from there. Let me know if you guys have any questions.